right, so we're here with Sunshine Swinford from Department of Environment. Sunshine, what have you seen today? What's been going on here?
It's been great. We've had a lot of community folks come out and attend the several workshops or walking tour that you can do. We've been able to interact. We had a table from the department and played our recycling game to really test people's knowledge of what goes in which bin, and we give them a bag if they get most of them right. They can't miss more than 3. We've had volunteers and our Environment Now staff that help do cart monitoring and setting up and shutting down. So it's been a really nice day. I actually sat in a little bit on the urban agriculture workshop and learning about how we can potentially grow more food in the city and just keep things locally.
Yeah, what did you take away from that workshop?
Thinking about how we can rezone, because it's so new and becoming more popular, about growing food here on a market scale, like working with the planning department and changing the zoning laws and really setting up something for the future, that this is feasible.
Okay, so we're here with Jennifer Gorospe from San Jose State University, who's here at the fair talking about heavy metals in our soils, right?
That's correct. I'm doing a research project on heavy metals in urban gardens and looking specifically at San Francisco.
Okay, why should people be interested in this in San Francisco?
Well, it's been shown that sort of in any city across the country, there's going to be parts of the city where we have more exposure to heavy metals from it coming from power plants, cars, lead-based paint in houses. There's certain areas that there's going to be heavy metals in our soils. And we don't really know what is going on in San Francisco, if there's certain areas that have it more than others. So that's why I'm doing this research. And also in general, when you eat plants out of your garden, they could have heavy metals in the plants or on the plants. Probably not a lot, but there probably is some.
So if there are heavy metals, what do you do about it?
Right. First thing, if you have heavy metals in your garden, is make sure you wash your produce really well and scrub it and rinse it and then do it again. And then the other thing to do is mulch any bare soil you have, especially if you have kids or you have a pregnant woman in their household, is limit exposure to the soil. So that's 2 of the things. There's a variety of other things too. But.
Okay. So people can get their soils tested, right? How do they do that?
Sure. So I would recommend going to University of Massachusetts Amherst. They have a soil testing lab. Check their site out online and they'll tell you how to do a soil test and collect the soil yourself from your garden. You send it in and it's about $10. It's really inexpensive, and then they'll send you back a report telling you what's in your soil.
Sounds pretty easy.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Okay, Jennifer, thank you very much. Very practical tips.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Okay, so we're here looking at a very interesting map. Do you want to tell us who you are and what you're here for?
Well, my name is Bonnie Sherk, and this map shows the Islay's Creek watershed, which is the largest watershed in San Francisco.
Is that so?
And what's really interesting about this watershed, that it links at least 10 communities in San Francisco. Very disparate. Noe Valley, Mission, Bernal, Potrero Hill, Bayview, Portola, Excelsior, Crocker, Amazon, Sunnyside, Glen Park. These neighborhoods are all part of the Islay's Creek watershed. The watershed is actually the place where the land and the hills and the valleys converge and where the water drains. But the creek system in this watershed is mostly underground, with the exception of a portion of it which is daylighted in Glen Park. And what we're looking at is the opportunity that we have now in San Francisco to daylight creeks and to use the water. There's a lot of fresh water under the streets and under schools and under parks and under housing projects.
Okay, and that water is still flowing right now. Where's that water going right now?
Well, it's mostly going into the sewer, but before it's going, and then after going into the sewer, it's being treated very expensively by the PUC. It's very wasteful. That's part of the point.
Well, I'm Jennifer Clary with Clean Water Action, and our organization is trying to think about how we're going to change the way we use water in the 21st century, because there's going to be less of it. And right now we import water from the Sierras, where we take it away from all these endangered species, and then the fresh water in San Francisco we throw away without using once. So what we'd like to do is rescue some of that fresh water and use it instead of importing water from the Sierras.
And part of that is using the creeks that are underground, right? Bringing it out and actually using that fresh water.
For daylighting it where it's possible, for certainly for irrigation where it's very plentiful and possible, and also creating educational and stewardship opportunities and green job and training opportunities, and also just more of a consciousness of where we are and how we're interconnected, so that, for example, people who are in the Bayview are actually connected to people who live in Noe Valley and the Excelsior.